Did you like that intro? That's a fancy
Yeah,
new
that was
intro.
something else, man.
It makes me laugh.
Yeah,
Makes
that's
you
pretty cool.
laugh.
Where the hell is
I,
this thing go?
I like it, man. It's awesome. I mean,
Yeah, it was neat.
The
It
toilet
was
people
neat.
are funny.
you like the toilet
Right,
paper?
that last part. Yeah.
Rosie did that, and she's creative, so she used the creative juices to make that for us. So
That's awesome. That's awesome.
let me check it in quick.
Quartz here.
Okay. All right, everybody. Welcome to another special edition of the Pitre Dish. I am your host, Howard Pitre, along with host Mr. Chad, Mr. Chad Candy, and Miss Jack. She'd rather be called Jax, but it's Jackie Harmon. And tonight, Terry, she's going to be a little late tonight. She had ran into some traffic down there in Alabama. So tonight we have a very special guest, Mr. Tim Kummer. They call him T-Dog. T-Dog's in the house.
Hey,
And we're going to find out about Mr. Tim tonight. Tim, you belong with Riverbend Paranormal of Indiana.
right.
What other? Because I got quite a few questions for you. Well, one is after we get to find out about you, but tell us a little bit about your investigation team and everything that you're doing out there in Indiana. And then just give us a little bit of info about yourself.
All right. Well, been with Riverband Paranormal Indiana for about a year and a half now, which is a sister team, the Riverbend Paranormal Alton, Illinois. It's Brian and Rochelle's team. They're in Illinois, and we're their Indiana chapter. We've been investigating. I've been investigating for a little over 20 years. Got quite a few people on my team. And we do a lot of residential cases here in Indiana. And of course, I do a lot of travel. And as most people know, I'm always going somewhere to investigate some location. Love what I do, love the people I work with. And I enjoy getting on here and talking to other people about the field, and the different experiences and locations and the history. And, what better field to be in but the paranormal, it's very exciting.
Right.
Very exciting. But I got quite a few things coming up. Got some events this weekend, and pretty much all next month is booked out every weekend. So we get pretty busy here real soon.
Tell us about some of the events that you got going on.
Well, this weekend it's not my event, but I'll be taking part in it. Brian, Rochelle, and Dustin Perry will be up in Fort Wayne, Indiana, with the Fort Wayne people. Don't know how I feel about that, but anyways, we'll be at the Bell Mansion up there, and we'll be there from, I think it's 6 to 1 or 7 to 1. We'll be doing a meet and greet / investigation, and looking forward to that. Then the following weekend, we'll be in St. Louis at the Limp Mansion on the 9th, and then next day, Sunday the 10th, we'll be in Alton, Illinois, Brian Rochelle's hometown. We'll be at the Mineral Springs Hotel. And Brian's got something cooked up. I'm not sure what yet, but he's got us all doing some kind of challenge thing through a live feed that night. So we'll see how that works out.
That's cool.
Yeah, something new he's going to do with us team members. And he's going to have the viewers kind of tell us what we have to do or where we have to go in the location and how to proceed and what.
Oh, is this Pathways?
Yeah. What's that?
Is it called Pathways?
No, it's called Mineral Springs Hotel. And
I mean the actual, like, the thing that you're doing where you're like, you choose where you're going and all that. I think Brian and Dustin just created it's like a game. It's like almost like a paranormal game, I guess, like a live interaction kind of thing. And it's like
something
movie.
like that. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's Pathways.
Yes.
Okay.
That may
Cool.
be, okay. See, I don't know what it's called. All I know is, it's like,
that's
you got to
it.
do
Yeah.
it. You got to be a part of it. And,
yeah, you got to be a part of it, and then you get to choose like where they go and what tools they use, and
yeah.
I heard
like
it's
that.
awesome. Yeah.
Okay. What's up, Steven? How you doing, brother? But yeah, something like that. So we'll be doing that next Sunday on the 10th at Mineral Springs Hotel. And normally I'm already the one that does that kind of creepy stuff anyway. So I'm waiting to see what they're going to have planned for me. I have no idea. Should be interesting.
I know that that was one of the questions I wanted to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've heard your investigation style, and I heard you like a man it's sort of like you're the type of person that they'll tell you to do something, and basically you say, hold my beer. And
Right.
and you're the man that's going to do it. I've heard you got into straight jackets and everything else. Tell us some of the craziest things that you've done to actually try to capture evidence.
Well, basically, it depends on the location. When we're investigating the teammates or whoever I'm with, they'll pretty much just try to figure out what's the most creepiest or scariest area of the location. And they will typically chain me up to something, whether it's a chair, a boiler, a jail cell, you name it. I mean, they've put me in some pretty crazy situations. And they'll blindfold me and they'll leave me there for half an hour to an hour to their discretion. And I mean, I've been in a Waverly Hill body shoot, chained up to a wheelchair on the steps, with the wheelchair locked up, hoping nothing pushed me down, because I'm halfway down the body shoot already, and I'm on the steps in a wheelchair, so I'm praying that nothing's going to push me down the rest of the way.
That'd be a hell of a ride, though, huh?
No kidding.
Right, man. But so it just depends on the location, man. They've put me in some creepy places and some creepy areas. I mean, I've done a little bit of everything, and this year we got a lot more exciting stuff coming up. The last one I did was out in Iowa at the Malvern Manor. They stuck me up in an attic and chained me up there, and we had a shadow seeker off within a few minutes of them chaining me up. I was tied up in the attic, and we had a shadow seeker pointing at one area of the attic, and I posted a video. I don't know if everybody's seen it or not, but there's a loud footstep about 10 feet in front of me, and the shadow seeker goes off, and it just goes off for like 10 minutes. Like something's literally standing right there, and you can hear the footstep loud and clear. So, and up in that area, there's supposed to be some kind of real grumpy spirits, an asshole. He likes to talk shit to you, cuss you out. But then if you make peace with him and give him a beer or a cigarette, then he's supposed to leave you alone. Obviously I didn't have a smoke with me, or I didn't have a beer with me, but I think he definitely made his presence. Something was up there with me for a little while anyway. So, but and that's a pretty creepy building, man. And everybody else is down in base camp, and they're staying safe and watching me on the DVR system. And I'm like, yeah, you guys stay down here, let me do my thing. But it's pretty interesting, man. I started at Waverly Hills a few years ago. One night I decided, hey, let's do something different. So they chained me up to the wheelchair. They blindfolded me and they pushed me down a hallway and just stuck me in a room and left me there for a while. And that was the very first one that I ever did. And it was probably the most intimidating doing it for the first time that night, because when you're blindfolded and chained up, you can't go nowhere. You can't see nothing, but your other senses kick in.
That's just a Tuesday night at my house.
So you start hearing every little thing, man, going on around you. And Howard, I know you've been to Waverly Hills. You know how big that place is. And
I've never been actually. I've actually seen the outside. Now, me and Ernie's got a running bet right now.
Right.
We have a thing with if they beat, what's happening to, what's going on with try to save Waverly Hills, and if they win, Ernie and I will be running through Waverly Hills naked. Only thing we'll have is just tennis shoes on. So.
That's technically not totally naked.
Right?
So
That's
that's
95%.
Yeah.
But,
What, Chad? We
What
can't hear
happens
you.
if you run into a raccoon while you're up in one of them attics?
Have I ran into a wet raccoon?
All right.
Jump.
Is that
What happens if you run into one while you're in,
There's not much I can do, brother. And 90% of the time when I'm doing it, they normally don't have a DVR system set up. I'm up there by myself, so there's no one around. Yeah, I'm chained up, so I can't do nothing. And it depends on what I'm chained up to. If I'm chained up to a chair, then I can get up out of the chair and swing the fucking chair at it. But if I'm chained up to a boiler or something, there's not much I'm going to do. If I'm chained up in the one of the morgue slabs or something like that, I'm kind of screwed because
how long have you been doing this?
For about 3 years, a little over 3 years now. But I've been in the field for a little over 20 years.
What started that? I mean, what was the purpose of you doing that? To see like if something would come at you and you just can't get away?
Well, no, more or less. I've been around people all my life. Some of them are sensitive in nature, and I'm not sensitive in any kind of way at all. So I was like, and then some people say that, me and a couple of my teammates were kind of like paranormal cock blocks, that when we're around, nothing happens. So I was like, well, I got to do something to try to get some interaction. So if I can make myself vulnerable somehow and the spirits see that, maybe they'll come interact with me. But I don't go in there antagonizing them or anything like that. I go in there and, just do my normal talk.
Yeah.
I'll relate to the situation, the location, and just kind of put myself in their shoes and try to relive that moment with them on a certain level and hope to get some interaction from them. And sometimes
they're standing around like, what the hell is this guy doing?
Right.
Like you were saying earlier, that is a typical, every other night at Jax's house. So, I mean, it tying up people. If you had some
regular Wednesday, Thursday. Well, Thursday I'm on here, but Tuesday, Wednesday. I mean, that's just, If
you had some wine, it would be exactly like what happens there. But I mean, I'm just saying.
That'll be me walking into the wedding.
Oh Lord. Yeah, that's going to be a fun thing. That's going to be happening soon. About another couple of months. Yeah, it's just. Yeah, I've already notified the authorities. I got this crazy blonde lady. She's coming in from San Diego. You know her. She'll be peeing on the bush in the corner.
Sidewalk. Pee on a bush. I'm not going to do that to a beautiful bush. What gutters are for?
Oh Lord.
She is from California, so
that is true. That is true.
We don't get in trouble for doing stuff like that here.
I've seen or heard.
Actually encourage it, I think.
Yeah.
So how's it?
A blonde's getting naked. We're not minding too much.
How things are going on up there in Indiana? I mean, with price of fuel going up. Groceries going up, everything.
Yes, it's about the same here as it is everywhere else. You know what I'm saying? I think gas a little over $4 a gallon. Groceries are going up. Big Mac meals at McDonald's are going up. It seems like just a little bit of everything's going up, man.
Jax is over there laughing at us talking about over $4 a gallon for gas.
Well, I gassed up. I put gas in my car yesterday, and it was over $7 a gallon. So you guys,
holy shit!
I wish we had $4 and something here.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're in California?
Going down. Yeah.
I live near San Diego. Yeah. Matter of fact, I have like this really small little Benz, and I filled up last Friday, and it cost me $123. And I already had a quarter of a tank. So I was like, I'll be walking a lot more now. So in about a month, I'm gonna be super skinny.
That's ridiculous, man.
You can't drive anywhere. I know. Because I had to go to an event in Hollywood, so I was like, okay, I'll fill it up today, but that's the last time.
Right.
You have to turn off your car every time you stop in traffic.
Jeez, no doubt.
Steven said he only paid. Yeah, that's ours is going actually down.
352. People here would be in a massive line.
I mean,
ours went down yesterday and then went back up today. Ours went down to $3.98 yesterday, and it's back up to $4.19 today.
Jeez.
Ours went up. The most I paid so far is $3.99 a gallon. and today it's about $3.60 a gallon.
Well, I don't know where you guys live, but like in California right now, food is hard to find. Like I order my groceries every week, and half the stuff I ordered wasn't even available. So they're not, it's gone. May not get it back.
May not get it back.
They're literally telling us like we should start making our own bread, have a garden for your own veggies. Like
I got a garden.
Invest in mass amounts of rice. I mean, it's insane out here. Like they're telling us, prepare yourselves, which I'm starting to realize is true.
No wonder everyone from California is moving to Texas.
I would move if I could. Yeah, I'd be out of here in a heartbeat.
What was that, T-Dog?
Said a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world right now, man.
Yeah, it's just too much, man. And then you gotta go do, like the way the gas is going up, and you get somebody who calls you up and wants you to come do a residential or something, and it's an emergency thing, and you got to run all the way, 30-40-minute drive just one way, and it burns a quarter of a tank of gas on you right there. It's almost to the point where you don't even want to go investigate, man. You just want to sit at home and just deal with it that way.
Unfortunately, I got so much stuff booked up this year from the East Coast to the West Coast, and I got to do a lot of traveling, so my pockets are going to be hurting paying for gas. That's going to suck.
I could imagine.
I have to get me a second job working on the weekends or something,
All these petroleum-based products that you're buying now, everything that's toys of all things, toys, action figures, and things of that nature. Just like my little Hulk man, you could have bought that for like $2 about a year and a half ago, and now they want like $10 for that dang thing. It's like crazy. Ridiculous. It's crazy. Yeah, and it's got to the point where your equipment, everything's going up. If you want to buy new equipment, I mean, it's just crazy the way this stuff just keeps going up and up and up. So I don't even know I don't know what we're going to do as paranormal investigators out there in the world. I mean, maybe we just had to reach out to other, expand our circles a little bit, maybe have to get someone else in different areas. More para-family, more para-unity, which is a good thing, but, as a paranormal investigator, I want to be there. I want to see what's going on.
Exactly.
We might have to wait a while.
That's why we network, man, so we can, get our outreach out there to different states and have other people that we can depend on or hopefully help out with stuff. What's going on, George?
Even property out here, I don't know about everywhere, but like in my neighborhood, 1 year ago, I was looking at buying a house. It was $525,000 1 year ago. It just sold about maybe 4 or 5 months ago, the same house for $750,000. It was only about a 6 month difference. Yeah. It was crazy.
Doing that here.
Wow.
I know. I was like, what? We just went through COVID. Why is everything going up? Like nobody has jobs. Where are people getting this money?
Man. Well, hey, be safe. Be safe, Troy. Going to Tennessee tomorrow. Where you guys going? Probably down over South Pittsburgh Hospital or something.
Yeah. They're probably doing what I'm doing right now. I'm out there prostituting myself.
I see you were doing a little filming a while back, man. Can you speak about that? What were you filming for, man? I seen you.
Yeah, matter of fact, I missed it today. I was actually supposed to audition for a movie, actually, that's being filmed. But it's released. It's a 6-part series. It's called The Thing About Pam. It's on NBC, and it's starring Renee Zellweger. And she's an awesome woman, but it's a twisted movie. I don't want to. Well, hell, if you've seen the NBC Dateline NBC show, they tell you basically what happens anyway. But this woman was twisted. I mean, she was really twisted, which is Renee Zellweger. She played the part. I mean, it was awesome. I mean, it was comedic, the way she did it. But it is Terry. She killed her best friend, and the best friend's husband got basically arrested for it. And then she stole the life insurance policy from it. basically, and from the family, and then I believe she kills her mother, and then she's trying to kill another person right when the husband was coming out of prison.
Jesus.
So they were trying to frame him for that one. So yeah, it's a messed up movie. But today was actually I was auditioning for Guardians of the Galaxy Part 3. So,
Wow,
That's
okay.
cool.
That's cool. That's cool.
That
That's awesome,
story
man.
that show that you're talking about, or that movie, whatever that is, it a series? What is that you're talking about?
the thing about Pam,
Yeah.
About my
That's
family.
yeah. Hey Terry, how you doing? She finally
Oh.
made it in.
I was looking
Is
up
that
the
based
movie
on a
on
true
Google and I heard a
story?
voice.
That story with what the one you were just talking about, is that based on a true story?
Yeah, it is a true story. As a matter of
Oh,
fact, there's a
wow.
Dateline NBC
Well, that's so
that did it.
cool.
They ran on it. But it comes on. I think it's either Tuesdays or Wednesday nights. I don't know, on channel here's channel NBC. And if you got Hulu or whatever like that, you can catch it
I
on
just
there.
got Hulu. I'm gonna watch it.
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Congratulations, brother.
I'm trying. I mean, I'm not even really trying. But actually, I wanted to do it, to be honest with you, Tim, was to actually see the video equipment and things that they do, using on these shoots. I mean,
Right.
to me, if you go and do an investigation, and man, you can almost make a documentary movie, sort of like what Steve Gonzalez did with The House in Between. So I mean,
Right.
to me, that's something that it interested me. So I was walking around the cameras and everything. I was watching how they were doing the filming and all that stuff, asking
Yeah.
questions about that.
So did you get on that show?
Was that?
Did you get on the show?
Yeah, I'm in the show. Yeah, Yeah.
All the episodes or just one?
just towards basically probably from the middle to the end.
Well,
I'll
that's
have to
really
watch
cool.
it.
I'm excited. I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it now too.
You might see my fat head in there somewhere. I don't know. You a saying T-Dog? I'm sorry.
I'd be like, I know that water boy.
Right. There's Howie. Nah, I was just saying congratulations, bro. That sounds like an exciting project, man. I'm glad you got a chance to be a part of it, man. I'll have to look forward to checking it out. You have to let us know when it airs or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, it's airing right now. That 6-part series is out. Actually, we're in the third, maybe. We're right in the middle of it right now, I believe. So,
That's
yeah,
really cool.
then I'm also, of course, I've been asked to do some other parts in other shows and stuff like that, and I'm looking at them and seeing if I want to do that type of shows. One is Interview with the Vampire. Another one is National Treasure. Another one is Renfield. It's Dracula's crony, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
That one, and the last one, y'all gonna laugh, but I'll say, hell, it's a good show. It's called Queer as Folk.
What?
Queer as Folk.
Queer as folk.
Queer is folk?
Queer as Folk.
Oh, queer as folk. Like
Mhm.
FOLK? FOLK, I mean?
FLOK, yeah.
Oh.
That was on HBO at one point. I don't know if it's going back to HBO or not, but they asked me to do some scenes and stuff like that. It's
I don't
going to be a
even watch
television
that.
series.
That's cool. Yeah, we'll be going up to Michigan next month, and we're going to be doing a little filming, a 3-day film shoot at Eloise Asylum up there.
Okay.
So looking forward to that. They're going to try to wrap it up and make a documentary out of it somehow. We'll see how it goes, but that should be interesting because I've never been there before, and I've heard some pretty crazy stories about that location. You guys ever been up there, up in Michigan?
I have not. No, I haven't. I'm sorry. I haven't.
Nah, I try to
it's
stay in the south.
Yeah.
It's warmer
Yeah,
down here.
you're down in Florida, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to get down there and check out that lighthouse down there and a couple other things. I got some people
there's a
Oh,
few
that
things
lighthouse
down
is
there.
bomb.
There's a few
Yeah.
things there that are
Mm-hmm.
got history to 'em.
Definitely, Chad.
Yeah, I'd love to come down there and check out some stuff in Florida.
They got the lighthouse and the old fort still there, or parts of it from. I think it's the Spanish. I think it's Spanish fort from St. Augustine. Then the college there now has one heck of a history to it too. That's used to be the Flagler Hotel, So
I've heard you guys got some old jails down there too that are haunted.
um
Can't think of the name of them, but I was with some people from Florida, I don't know, a few weeks ago, and they were up here in Indiana at the Monroe House, and I went and investigated with them, and they were saying they wanted me to come down there to some haunted jail that's down in Florida somewhere. So there's a couple
I'd
of
have
them
to
down
look
there.
into that. I've never even been on an investigation before. I don't ever meet anybody from Florida.
Oh, okay. Hey, good night, Stephen.
He's like, I know everyone across the country, just not here.
Yeah, exactly.
It happens sometimes.
Hey, Linda was just asking if you had talked about your Sasquatch adventure. You also go look for Bigfoot?
Who is that? Me?
You. Well, Linda was on here asking if you do.
No, I haven't. I will probably be down in Kentucky, towards Kentucky, some point this year. Ernie and Denise Pack want me to come down there and hang out with them in the woods. Howard probably knows the guy. I can't think of his name. But they go investigating with some guy that does that.
Yeah. What's his name? I can't. Yeah, I know the SQs go with them also. So I mean, it's like one big old happy family when they all go down there.
So I haven't been yet, but I will at some point this year be going and joining with them to do some of that. It'll be my first time, so we'll see how it goes.
I think Ernie will be catching some big feet. I mean, I'm just saying it out there because he likes to pack them freaking biscuits in everywhere, every pocket he's got. Right. So that Bigfoot will smell them biscuits a mile off. I mean,
he loves his biscuits.
He loves his biscuits. Good Lord, I mean, he loves his biscuits.
But yeah, right now we've been staying focused. I've been helping him out with this Save Waverly Hills thing with all that mess that's going on there, and we got some things coming up. He's got the car show coming up. Unfortunately, I think that's the same day you're getting married on or in May, I guess.
Yeah. Same day, yeah.
Yeah. So, and they got a couple other events set up to try to raise money to help Tina and Charlie with their attorney fees. So, I've been trying to help them work out with that and spread the word and get that going. But hopefully, they'll get it back sometime this year, and we'll have Waverly Hills back to the way it used to be instead of what's going on out there now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big old mess.
But
Chad, you said you had some questions. You said you had some questions earlier, brother. What kind of questions did you have, brother?
I didn't. I was just catching up on you. I was just listening to about you going through cemeteries and stuff like that.
Stalking you.
What?
I said he's stalking you.
Yes. That should be my
I go to a lot of cemeteries, whether I'm investigating, normally on my travels, depending on where I'm going, I'll look up different cemeteries along my way throughout the states, and I'll go pay my respects to either mobsters or gangsters or historical people or sports players. It's kind of another little thing I do on the side. Musicians.
That's cool.
And I've been to, I couldn't tell you how many grave sites, but my favorite is mobsters and gangsters and outlaws. So I'm always going to go visit with, someone of that nature.
Yeah. But yeah, right up there in North Louisiana, I think it's like Shreveport and all that is Bonnie and Clyde. And the Bonnie and Clyde Museum and all that stuff.
Yeah, and I was just down there in 2019, and I didn't realize that was down there. But when I was down there, I did go by the St. Louis cemeteries and spent a little time over at Myrtle's Plantation. And then on the way back from Myrtle's Plantation, we stopped by some battlefield out there. You probably know it's on the way back from Myrtle's Plantation going back into New Orleans. There's a battlefield. That could be it, brother. I mean, it's been a long time ago. It's been a few years.
New Orleans, he said. I know where you're going at.
And then we stopped and seen a battleship as well while we were down there.
I was in Baton Rouge. I think that's
Baton Rouge, big old battleship. We stopped and saw that. But New Orleans is pretty interesting, man. Probably gonna be back down there sometime mid-August this year. So when I get down there, I have to look you up.
Oh yeah, give me a holler. Oh yeah, we'll go run some stuff and we'll get arrested. It's all good. It's all part of being in New Orleans, getting arrested. Exactly. If you don't get arrested, then you ain't been in New Orleans. So,
Oh,
All right,
they
we
got
already
one
know
for the
Jackson's going to get arrested, so
If you don't get arrested, you did not have a good time, okay? And if you're hanging with me, you better bring extra money.
oh, there's my daughter. Hi, Kylie. Hi, baby. I love you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, it's my daughter. Yeah, she's like, Daddy, are you on yet? And I couldn't text her. I was like, I'm on the show. I can't text her back.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, it's my youngest, one of my twins. She's got a twin brother, and her brother's actually part of my team, and he's been investigating with me for the last 3.5 years. He's 16 now.
Awesome.
He started about when he was 13. He started going to locations with me.
Aw.
So she's been to a couple, but she's still a little skittish. She'll go with Daddy every now and then. She always just tells me, Daddy, don't bring nothing home. You know, like, okay.
You have to protect yourself. I agree with her.
Of course, for sure.
And that's how we're supposed to keep this thing going. I mean, you're supposed to have your children, show some kind of interest into it, even though they might be a little skittish with it and everything. Hell, who was
exactly?
We was all scared at one point at this shit.
Yeah.
I started going with my dad when I was 4.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I started early.
Squatching?
That's young.
Both. Ghosts and squatching. Yeah. My dad was really big in the paranormal. I had an uncle who was like a professional Bigfoot hunter, so that's what got my whole family started. And yeah, so I was 4 when I started all of it.
Interesting.
So I've been roaming the woods, looking for Biggie. I call him Mr. Biggie. All of a sudden, is it acting?
somebody
awesome.
has to.
What'd you say,
Somebody's
Hal?
playing live too.
So I got their phone. Speaker.
Is it still like that? Yeah. It's gonna be Terry.
She's muted. Now she's muted. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. But yeah, I mean, right now I'm just actually T-Dog. I just literally just got through eating. I had cooked tonight. I had poor Rosie. She's trying to get this everything set up to launch this new network and everything. And I'm in the kitchen. I'm trying to cook and everything, and she's asking me to do this. I'm running back and forth to that. The phone's ringing about 10,000 times. People wanting to know this, that, and everything else. So, but we had finally got finished, man. I made a pretty good etouffee. I made a shrimp, crawfish, and crab etouffee tonight. Oh, it was awesome.
Oh, wow. That sounds good.
And it was real good. And they made some green salad with it, man. It was like,
there you go.
Get that diabetes kicked up a little more,
Playing Chef Boyardee, huh? I've heard you talk about some of your cooking and stuff. So, when I come down that way, you're gonna have to cook up some stuff for me.
He just went to the doctor last week or this week sometime and said he was blind, so he don't really know what he put in there. That
it was.
What did they do to you? Did you have to get glasses or what?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get glasses. They told me from after they did everything. I was watching this freaking dog. He's a walker. I did that. They dilated my eyes. After they dilated, then they ran this camera on it, and they did the some kind of shoot the air on your eyeball thing or whatever, so you just see whatever's going. So they found out I got some glaucoma that's starting to come in. I'm too damn young for glaucoma, but then they said, even the doctor said, "You're too damn young to be having glaucoma coming." I said, "Yeah, well, that's me." And then from being diabetic, it's something behind the eye or something's deteriorating.
Yeah, I'm just going to say that test is for behind the eye.
Yeah, and they said that it's deteriorating such a rate where if I don't start taking better care of stuff, that I'm gonna start having detached retinas soon. So it's like, yes, so I got to watch that. They want me to wear sunglasses, during the daytime, regardless. Just wear sunglasses.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to go look at that. So I looked at ordering some prescription sunglasses, and man, that's like, shoot, man, I might as well give them a kidney or something too while they,
Those
just
were ridiculously expensive.
I'll just get me some more Walmart glasses or something. That'll work.
Right.
Work for me. And then
yeah, but speaking of Rosie, man, real quick, she's a great person, man. She really is, man. I watch a lot of her podcast and interact with her. She's something special, man. She's good at what she does in the field. What's Jason Walker, I think it is, her teammate. A few months back, I guess it was Christmas time, they purchased a van and gave it away to some single mother of a few kids that didn't have reliable transportation.
right.
So they partnered up with somebody else, and they actually gave her what a van. It was an SUV of some kind, man. The things they do in the field, man, is pretty significant. I mean, they're giving back.
That's so
And
nice.
yeah, it was really emotional, man. I was like, oh man, that's so cool that you guys did that for that lady. And she's just, I don't know, she's great, man.
Yeah, she
Show's
is
good, and she's just so down to earth. I think I'll finally get to meet her. We'll be going out to Oklahoma in August to the Broken Bow Asylum for a few days.
She wanted me to ask you about that, and I said, well, no, Rosie, because we have you coming on Paranormal Swamp Talk, and I believe that's next week. And yeah, next week coming on Paranormal Swamp Talk. So I'm like, I don't want to ask him all the questions you want to ask him, Rosie. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. So I don't want to ask. I'm letting everybody else talk and let them ask the questions. And I know Rosie and I got a bunch of questions for Paranormal Swamp Talk. So I was like, if y'all got questions, my children's, we need to ask them.
Yeah, feel free. Come at me.
What's everybody doing?
So Terry's from Alabama.
You don't want to know. And I
hello, Terry.
Y'all hear me?
You look like you're hiding back there, Terry.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, my signal is being weird as usual, but so I didn't know if y'all could hear me or not. And I apologize that I've been in and out and late and all that stuff. And Howard, that message was not me, and I'm gonna have to send you the picture though. It's pretty funny, Howard. If you quick glance, I can see why that mistake was made.
Okay.
Y'all, my website builder just was calling me as soon as I got online, and I sent him a message. I'm like, I'm live right now. Is everything okay? He says, no, not really. Have you ever sent any nude pictures to anybody? And I'm like, no. And he
that was meant for Howard.
Sure? He's like, are you sure? And I said, yeah. But then I thought about one time when me and my husband were like 18 years old.
No.
That these pictures that he took, and I thought, well, surely to God that they didn't get out anywhere and end up on the internet. So, but no, we debunked it, not me. So all is well. I'm not on the internet naked anymore.
So not anymore.
I was going to say, Jax can't say the same.
That is not something.
That's a true story, Chad, but let's not go there.
It is a true story. I've witnessed this myself.
That's a show for the unholy Trinity, okay?
Right.
I'll come on and visit you. We'll chat about it then.
So, Don, to answer your question, have I ever been scared anywhere? I wouldn't say I've ever been scared, but I've been in some creepy and scary situations. Let's just put it that way. Maybe a little uneased, and stuff of that nature. But I don't think I've been to a location that's really scared me yet.
What would scare you? Like, if you were in a location and you're like chained up, what would actually scare you?
I mean, it's really hard to say if it's never happened. I was in Bobby Mackey's down in a basement, chained up next to the portal, and going into that one with the reputation of Bobby Mackey's, I was intimidated because of the history of the location. But once I got down there, and I'm down there for 20 minutes, I mean, it was just so quiet. You go in there with that little hypeness in your head, and then it was just totally quiet. So it just kind of it was still cool, but it kind of ruined it for me because I was expecting so much more, you know. And I'm chained up, not in the portal, but literally 3 feet away from the portal, and it was just absolutely quiet the whole time I was down there. So I was more disappointed that nothing happened, you know.
So what's like your normal situation? They chain you up and there's like, what, a set time? Or do you finally just tap out, or what do you do?
No, I've never tapped out. They pretty much just set up a time. It's anywhere between a half an hour to an hour, just depending on the location, the weather. The last one I did in Iowa, when we were in the attic, it was a little cold up there because they don't have heat in that big old locations. They only have heat in 2 rooms. So, you know, I mean, I had gloves on, but I got chains on my wrist. So with the cold, being cold and being in the attic, those chains being on your wrist makes your hands colder. So I think they left me up there for like 35, 40 minutes instead of an hour. So they kept me a little bit of a break since it was so cold out that night. But other than that, it's just, you know, whatever they feel like. Sometimes they'll come back and get me quicker. If they have a DVR system watching me and they see that there's activity going on around me, then they'll leave me wherever for longer just because there's stuff going on, you know. So it just really depends on the scenario or the location.
Yeah. So when you're like chained up, can you interact with them, or you're just like totally there and they're watching?
Most of the time, like I said, it depends. Most of the time, there's no DVR system watching me. It'll just be a few cameras, handhelds that are filming it.
Yeah.
But every now and then they'll have a DVR system, depending on the location. If they're able to run a DVR system, then they'll watch me on the monitor to see if anything's going on. But most of the time I'm on my own. No walkie-talkie, nobody watching me. I'm just stuck there, and they'll be back when they come back.
So are they off investigating while you're doing that, or are they just like they're watching you?
Again, it depends on whether there's a DVR system or not. Most of the times they'll leave the building altogether and they'll go outside and hang out, you know, and just keep an eye on the time and come get me when they're ready for it.
Can't hear you, Chad. Chad.
So they use you for a trigger pretty much?
Yes.
That's what Linda was asking.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Chad had to put his on mute. The police was at his door.
Yeah.
And they're telling him, what they coming to get you now for?
Yeah. Well,
I was just going to ask what kind of plants has he got growing back there?
I don't have to grow them.
We'll be going back up to New York this year, Howard.
Sir?
I said we'll be going back up to New York this year. We'll be going up to Kings Park and Lynchworth Village, Shanley Hotel, Hinsdale House, and Wildwood Sanatorium. So, and if you guys have never been to New York, they got some fascinating locations out there. Kings Park is just huge. I'm talking probably 40 or 50 buildings in that area in Kings Park. It's like a big old psychiatric community, so it's huge.
I know Daniel's invited me up there. Come stay at the Hinsdale House.
Yeah.
It's like, don't worry.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's nice up there, man. But it's so secluded up there. There's nothing around for a couple miles, you know. And then he's got those trees on the back of the property. He's got like his own little forest. You walk up this hill, and there's some kind of, I don't know what he called it, a giving tree or something. So there's all kinds of little crystals and stuff hanging all over this tree back off his property up in the hills. And
that's
those
cool.
Those woods are just as creepy as the house, brother. And all that.
I used to live up there, upstate New York.
Really?
It's really woodsy, yeah.
Yes. So, and all that used to belong to the Indians on the land where the house sits anyway. And it's got a lot of activity up there, brother. A lot of activity.
Somebody was just asking, have you ever been touched?
Not doing a fear challenge. I've been touched a few times. And Howard's going to make fun of me on this one. I know he is. So, I was in a jail cell one night sleeping in Hartford City, Indiana. We stayed the night, and I was sleeping, and something kept thumping me on the back of the neck while I was sleeping. So I woke up, and I didn't freak out. I just kind of laid there like, what was that? You know? And I lay there because I had cameras watching me, and I was waiting for it to happen again, but it never happened again. But when it first happened, I mean, it woke me up immediately, and I could feel that my body was just like in defense mode. You know how you get that sensation running throughout your whole body, tingling sensation. My body went on full alert, and I just laid there, and and then everybody asks me, because when I talk about it, was it Mr. Good Touch or Mr. Bad Touch? Now, and I'm like, no, it didn't go down like that. Just because I was in a jail cell.
That's what I was trying to
Show me on the hole. Would you touch here?
So, but
turn it around. Turn it around. He said the back.
Yeah.
The back of his neck.
Yeah, up in that area. Yeah.
Poke ain't got no neck, so he had to been down here. His neck runs down here.
Right. But yeah, I've been touched a few times. But nothing ever too crazy. I've never been scratched or forcibly pushed or nothing like that. But there's a few people that are always teasing me, saying when I do my fear challenges, they're just waiting for something to come rip the pillowcase off my head. I can't wait till something comes rips that pillowcase off your head. I'm like, yeah, you and me both.
Oh, so you're literally sitting there with something like a pillowcase literally over your head?
Yeah, black pillowcase over my head.
You have like a head cover?
Yeah.
Oh
so I can't see. Every now and then, if one of the devices goes off in the room and the light's bright enough on it, I can see the light blinking or something like that.
Why?
Whose idea was that?
But other than seeing anything going on around me, I can't see if anybody's walking around or nothing like that. No,
I know the women on here are like, what's happening? Why are you doing these things to yourself?
Yeah.
I say go for it, man. I would like to try some of them things. Well, it's just like that. That's just a method. I mean, if you did that way, I mean, you you cover your eyes, put earphones on. It's basically what he's doing there. He's just that he's doing it alone.
Right.
I wanted to ask you this, Tim.
Go ahead, Bob.
I wanted to ask you this. I did an investigation this past week, and actually, I've gotten touched, I've gotten scratched, pushed. I mean, you name it, it didn't happen to me. Now, this investigation took the cake. I mean, I've never had these feelings or being actually attacked like this. I guess that'd be the best word to use as attack. One point I asked some questions, and the spirit I was talking to was being very belligerent, and it felt like something stung me like a bee sting right here, right on this part of the hand. And I was like, you see me on the camera, even I'm shaking it off. It's like, what the hell done hit me here? And there was no bees. There was nothing up in the air. This is at nighttime. There was the house was built in like 2000 and I believe 16. So it wasn't that old of a house. And later on, I asked a few more questions, and twice right above my ankle and the inside of my ankle, it felt like somebody, it wasn't like a pulse of electricity, but it was more like somebody taking electrical lines and just sticking you with them. It's like real electricity. It just hit me twice like that. It did it one time and it backed off, and then it came like a couple of minutes later and hit me again. And I mean, that sucker was sore on the inside of my ankle like that. I was wondering, has anything like that ever happened to you?
Not to me. No, I've never experienced anything like that. I mean, not as far as to the degree you're talking about. I mean, I've felt, small electrical charges, but then more like static in the air or something, or static around me, but not necessarily on the level that you're talking about. No.
Almost like a light impact taser, man. It was like,
right.
I mean, that's intense. It was. And I mean, I think I talked to Jenny Sullivan from Ireland, and I talked to a few other people, and it's almost like my impression is I think it's a succubus. I mean, I'm a demonologist, and that's the last thing I want to say. It's some kind of something demonic. I usually say it's something that's evil. This thing was, it was well versed. It it was like talking to someone of today. It wasn't a past ghost or it wasn't a past spirit or anything like that. This was something that's recently either deceased or something that came into this world like yesterday. That's how, just like talking to someone like that. This thing threatened me with blood, told me to get out several times. It was invited into the house. And what got me, the really big part was this thing was actually captured all the energy and all these EVPs was in the walk-in closet and the master bathroom. I was standing in the attic right above that. So I couldn't hear anything that was going on downstairs, and we was trying to Estes, and I had a walkie-talkie upstairs, and I was asking questions downstairs, and Gabe was giving me the responses. And this is when all this stuff was happening. I mean, this guy would come home from work. He wouldn't say hello. I mean, he'd walk in and see his wife and his children, walk past them, walk straight into the bathroom, shut the bathroom door there, and go sleep in the closet, in the walk-in closet. Oh, wow. It was like this thing was calling him. And we asked what you was doing in the closet. And it's the gentleman's name. And this thing said the gentleman's name and said play. It would play in the closet. So I don't know. Weird shit, man. I mean, we're still looking into it, but
how long has he lived in the home? The client, how long has he lived?
He
there?
moved in 2000 and I want to say 2020? No, 2019. 2018. He moved in.
Right. Well, you said something. It was invited into the home, so I was wondering, about the story behind that. Whether it was somebody before him that might have, conjured up something.
Because there was another thing that the next door, there was a house there, but you could see that the house was actually bulldozed, and you could see where the asphalt was all just piled up, pushed in with a bulldoze and everything. And that's what I was kind of wondering, because I mean, they were like maybe 10 feet away from the property line, and it was like something could have came from that house over into to their house or something of that nature. Right. But I didn't get any. To me, that would be a spirit. But this thing here, I had the feeling that it was something that was pure evil. I mean, this thing was belligerent. It wasn't going to listen. We wanted to actually cleanse the house. We was going to use camphor, bubble sticks, and sage. And the wife or the fiance didn't want us to do none of it.
Oh, wow.
And this guy here, he was a police officer, and he was built. A year ago, you see his pictures of him hanging on the wall, and his family pictures, and he was built like a brick shit house. I mean, this is a big old boy. And to see him now, I mean, Barney Fife could kick his ass. I mean, that's how little he is.
Damn.
It's like it's wasting him. It's just taking his energy. It's killing him, I think.
Right.
Why was the wife so against that? That's crazy. You would think she'd want the help.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, and I can understand why she would say that to a point, because a lot of times you really got to dig deep and figure out what's going on before you take that next step to sage the house. And I was just going to ask Howard about that. Howard, at what point do you think it's valid enough to sage and cleanse a house? Because I've never done it before. I've had teammates
to the point where I'm walking in and I find that kind of evidence. I mean, something has to be done right away. Okay. I mean, this thing, it looks to me, it's actually killing this man. And I mean, you could see, like the fiance was just walking around, and his mother was there, and the mother was more like she was very worried, very concerned. She was upset and everything because he then went to see if it was something wrong, because that's one of the things as a demonologist, you want to rule out any mental problems. And he was in a psychiatric hospital, and they diagnosed him with possible psychosis, but it wasn't nothing like schizophrenia or anything, because he would hear voices. He would hear, this thing was always following him and things of that nature, but didn't diagnose him with anything like that.
Right.
So I was like, wow.
Attachment?
That's what I thought too. I thought it might have been an attachment.
Yeah.
And I mean, we didn't went. We spent there. Oh God, about 6 to 8 hours there, just doing this investigation. And this is just a regular residential investigation. Yeah, that's what I was under the impression. And I heard that the guy was in trouble. So that, we're going to. It was affecting his health. So yeah, we need to get in and check it out. But the fiance. I mean, she was walking around drinking margaritas and beer, and there we are doing an investigation. I'm like,
now with that being said, you saying
believe that it was happening or what?
Doing the whole thing. I mean, there was some things. There was certain. I mean, this is like one thing that happened. It was real eerie, and it affected my Jackie. She was in the master bedroom, and she felt like something was behind her, and she came across the EVP. Look up. So there was just them in the house. Jackie and Gabe was in one room. I was outside with the mother and the fiance talking to them, trying to get to everything, find out other activity or try to, locate where actually everything was happening in the home. Then I had other investigators spread out. One was in the kitchen, and then one was in the living room. And he was sitting in the living room with one of my investigators. Jackie walks out, and she tells me, she was getting ready to tell me what she caught on EVP, her and Gabe. And before she could tell me anything, the one that's having all the difficulties walks up to Jackie and looks, turns, touches Jackie on the shoulder and said, "Did he ask you to look up?" And it was like, so he's in tune to what's going on in that house.
Right. Oh. Wow.
Interesting.
So with that being said about the wife, meaning that she doesn't want you to cleanse the house, but she knows what's going on. So I mean, I can't think of any reason why she wouldn't want it done. That would lead me to believe like maybe something's attached to her.
That's exactly
and coming
what I was
through her.
Say.
Well, not only either attached to her, but she could have invited it in.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
I think she's feeding it.
It's a crazy situation.
Because if it's affecting her husband and he's sick and she doesn't want a cleansing, that's not right.
Well, that's EVPs we got. That's EVPs we got. It was like we asked her, "What are you doing here?" And she said, "Who invited you? What are you doing here?" And she would it was a woman, and she would say, "John," and then it would say, "Invite." So it's like, did John invite this thing in or what? Because he thought it was some kind of Hindu music that done it to him. And I talked to Jenny about that, and her husband is ex-husband is he's Hindu, and their music is nothing negative. It's all about peace and everything. So it couldn't have been coming through the music. So,
well, it definitely sounds like an interesting case, but I hope you can get it figured out and get them some help.
Sounds to me like it has more to do with the woman than the man, because the man's getting sick from it. So
literally, it's wearing him down. I mean, it's actually it's mentally and physically now. It's actually draining him.
Howard, looking at it from my point of view, and the world that I mess in, I would say, she's probably dabbling in something dark.
That's exactly how I feel. Terry, it's really hard to hear you. You might want to get closer to your mic.
How's that? Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be that she's dabbling in something dark, and myself as an investigator, I might do a little digging and see, does she have a life insurance policy on him?
Oh, damn.
Hey,
I mean,
honest to God, like I wouldn't doubt it.
Thing, if she wouldn't let me cleanse it, then that's the first thing I would want to know is why. You know, what is she getting out of it for him being sick?
Yeah. Howard, did they happen to mention if they had like relationship problems or if they fought a lot or anything like that?
They've been engaged for like a long time. It's been, I mean, hell, I've been engaged with Jackie for 5 years. So I mean, so I know a long time, and she was saying it was well over like 8 years they were engaged, but it never took the plunge yet. Now, when I was in the house doing the investigation, not once but twice, I had to actually leave the house. Somebody asked a question, Linda. She asked, Howard, how does pure evil feel? Where do you feel it? Well, you don't. You feel it everywhere. It got me to the point where I was nauseated. Mm-hmm. I had to leave the house because I got actually physically ill.
Oh well. Yeah, that sounds like a rough one, brother. I hope you get it all worked out and get them the help they need, and just be safe yourself, man. Going in and do what you do.
Mm-hmm. Well, if it gets to that bad, I mean, this is Louisiana. We just throw some gas on that shit and we burn it. House and all.
You gotta do what you gotta
do. I mean, it's just one of those things. That's why I wanted to ask you: have you ever felt anything like that before? Like, because you've been in the doing this, and you've been a lot of places, and so you've experienced a lot, and just feeling that electrical charge like that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, but not nowhere as intense as you'd have. Maybe like I said, more of like a static charge just around me or in a certain area, but not to the like you have experienced. No.
Okay, you know what it felt, and that's a good thing you said that static charge, because that's what it actually felt like on the ankles. It felt like you walking on, you just sit down and you drag your feet on carpet, and all of a sudden you touch something with your hand.
Yes,
that's what it felt like, a pop like that on the ankle. But I was upstairs in an attic on plywood.
Oh. I've heard people talk about getting that same static charge, and they say like it'll make their hand or something feel like it's burning, like the side of their hand or their fingers or something. And they said it almost feels like someone put a cigarette out on their hand. I've heard that multiple times in the past. I have no idea what that comes from.
This is like a bee sting.
Yeah, but multiple people have claimed that, like, it feels like something burned them. Really weird feeling.
Yeah, I was doing a K2 session one night, and it was like I was holding it with these fingers, and a charge went through this finger that I swear even today, months later, still does not feel right. It's like it went to sleep and it won't wake up.
Oh, wow.
Crazy.
No, because I mean, I know you.
That happens when you're in paranormal investigation.
I know you've done some. What's that?
We got the echo.
Echo.
Hello.
I think it stopped now.
Yeah, it might have been someone was trying to call me, Howard. I don't know if that interfered for a second there. I had to swipe the phone call away.
But like I know you've gotten into some, you've done some off the wall, extreme ways to try to capture spirit, and that's why I was asking you if you ever had something like, because I mean the things that you do. I mean, I'll go through and I've done some crazy stuff, but it's not to the extreme that you've been done, being chained up and actually hooded and everything else. I mean, you would, to me, when you're getting hooded like that, your sensation, you have these, everything's pouring in. I mean, it's just like everything's coming in. You can feel everything's in heightened. So, I mean, that's why I was asking you if you ever experienced anything like that, because to me, it's craziness.
Right. Well, when I am chained up, brother, I'm the kind of person because, yes, I mean, there's been moments where I felt like I've been touched when I'm chained up, or just different things happening, little static charges around me. But I don't really read into it too much, unless it's something really physical. So, I mean, I'll hear noises around me, footsteps, and sometimes I mention it or I won't mention it. It just depends on the seriousness of the situation, I would say. Like, I mean, if it's something like a door slamming right next to me, then obviously I'm going to, speak upon it. But, because I'm chained up, but I'm not really moving, but I am moving. So sometimes, depending where I'm chained up, something might rub up against me, or I might rub up against something, or I just get that natural, I don't know, weird sensation where it's sometimes you can almost think you're getting touched without being touched, So I would just not relate to it, or I will not react to it. So there's plenty of times where I think I'm being touched, but unless I truly think it's something touching me and not just some natural element of the building or something around me, then I won't speak upon it. I just go on with the investigation. I've been doing it for so long. When I heard that footstep in the attic up there at Malvern Manor and the shadow seeker going off, I didn't get excited about it. I kept my composure. I was like, okay, something's in the room. I heard a footstep. You can hear the shadow seeker picking it up. Just recently, I was at the Monroe House, aka the Demon House, where they found the bones in the basement years ago. Nick Groff found the bones in the crawl space of that basement there. So they stuck me down there that night, and no sooner did they left, within minutes they had you call it a little music box that shoots out the little beam. It's kind of like a motion sensor. If something walks in front of it, it'll start going off.
Yeah, I got that.
Well, this thing went off for 25 minutes before it finally wore the battery down, and it just stopped on its own, almost as if. And this isn't a whole different little cubby hole of the basement where I'm nowhere around it. And it's just going off until finally the battery just died in it. Almost like something came and just sat down just to listen to the music. And you can hear it throughout the whole challenge that I did. You can hear this music box just cranking. I'm just like, oh, wow, something's trying to get my attention tonight. So, but yeah, it lasted until the battery wore out, man. And then once the battery wore out, it just, it was done. But craziest thing, man, that was probably one of the more exciting fear challenges I've ever done, was in that basement that night just a few weeks back, because that thing just went off consistently until it died, and that's the area where they found the bones. That's the area where they said there's a little female spirit that runs around, this and that. So for that kind of interaction, paranormal, I don't know. I can't 100% say it was paranormal, but it was sure surprising. I've never seen one of those little music boxes go off for that long of a period of time. You get a little quick turn here and there, a little doo-doo-doo, and then it'll stop and maybe do it again. But just, it killed the battery. It went off so long. So it was pretty surprising, to say the least.
You said you have one too, Howard. Have you ever had that happen? Anything close to that?
With the REM pod and all that stuff going off? Well, that happened this past week when I was in the house doing the same investigation in the kitchen. The kitchen shared the same wall as the master walk-in closet, and we put a REM pod up there, and that thing would not shut off. We put matter of fact, I changed the batteries out in the REM pod just to make sure it might have been maybe a failing battery. I mean, you want to debunk, try as much as you can of it.
Of course.
Turned it off, reset it, just started going off again. Brought it outside, it worked. Put it right back in that same spot. It was just going crazy. The EMF reader, K2 meters were going off. I had a mail reader that was just kept fluctuating temperatures and stuff. That was another thing. When I was in that attic, I was standing in one spot, you could almost see smoke coming out of my mouth. But then you walked off away from it. It was like a 10 to 12 degree difference from where the camera was at, because there was somebody finally decided they were going to come up in the attic with me. And he was standing on the other side of some ductwork and everything. And it was just normal temperature. But as soon as you walked into that part of that area, it was freezing cold. Now, eventually the cold went away. So it was like something was there. It was trying to manifest. I even wanted it to manifest in front of me. I threatened it. I mean, that's how pissed off I was with this thing. I mean, I was pissed off at it because it was just like giving me some attitude. You know, it was going to tell me what it was going to do, and I'm like, no, I'm here. You're going to do what I say.
He's all, it was not getting along with me at all.
No. She was a mean woman. She was a mean woman. But yeah, I had that same thing. Yeah, she was. I'd love to go back and hit that place again, but I don't know with everything going on. I'm still talking to one of the relatives of the place. And they invited us in the first place to come out there to do it as an emergency. And she's talking to them to see if we can get back out there and try to do another investigation on this place. And hopefully this time we can cleanse it. But,
yeah, it definitely sounds like you'll probably have to do a couple of follow-ups there to see what's going on to get it placed taken care of. Yeah, for sure.
So, now, but next time I want to film everything. I mean, we was able to film it, but we can't release it because they did not want us to release it. So you have to respect their wishes.
Most people in homes don't.
Yeah.
Oh, hell, I'll let you come to my house. Come on over. Terry's been to my house. Shit.
Yeah, he was willing to let me share anything and everything.
I would. Anyone came in my house.
Yeah, same.
You'll find all kinds of craziness at my house. I'll let you put anything out there. I don't care.
And then there's the paranormal, right?
Yeah, I was wondering, Tim, what's like the best thing you guys have ever caught on camera?
Well, we've caught things moving, doors closing, different objects like balls being played with and stuff like that. Gotten a lot of disembodied voices on video, which is weird. We'll talk about that because we've caught disembodied voices on video, but then when we have a recorder set up in the same area, we won't capture the voice on the recorder, but we'll catch it on a video. So that's been kind of weird. But I mean, we'll catch. We were at Madison Seminary, up in the attic where they used to abuse the women patients there and rape them, and then later on force them to have abortions. And we had a camera set up there and a recorder. On the recorder, we caught this horrible scream of a woman that sounds like she's in pain, just screaming her lungs out. And we caught it on the audio, but we didn't catch it on the video. So that's one thing that's kind of weirded me out over the years is, I'll hear a disembodied voice here and there. We've heard a woman apologizing to us one time because she walked up the steps in a certain area, and I was like, I shushed everybody that was there to be quiet because I heard it, and you could hear her say, sorry. It's like she was intelligent enough to know that we were trying to be quiet in that area, and when I shushed her, she apologized for it. Well, we heard it and in that scenario, we heard it with our own ears, and everyone there that had a recorder caught it on the recorder. So my thing is why is it sometimes you can hear it on a recorder, but you don't hear it on a video, or sometimes you can hear it with your own ears, but then you don't capture it on video or audio. It still puzzles me.
I was just doing an investigation this last weekend, and it's weird because we had about 4 or 5 different cameras literally surrounding us. And we at one point heard like a hiss or a shush. And it was weird because I thought it was behind the other person. They thought it was behind me. And then we went back and we listened to it on every single recording on the cameras, and every single one of them sounded different. And it's all in the exact same place. Like one, you couldn't hear at all. The other one was as clear as day. The other one sounded like a whistle. It was weird.
Right. And that's the kind of stuff that fascinates me. What's behind all that? What caused that different effects and these different devices to pick up the different phenomena?
Not one of them was the same. Not one. Every single one of them was different.
Linda, to answer your question about what kind of equipment do I have around me, it just depends on the location. Normally, I've always got at least 2 or 3 cameras on me. REM pods, EDI meters, shadow sensors, sometimes laser grid. It just really depends on the location and where they put me at. Makes a big difference because certain devices work better in some areas than others because of temperature fluctuations and this and that. So we always try to be concerned with a REM pod per se. They have a temperature fluctuation on them, and if I'm in a basement rather than being in a warm area, I don't want that REM pod going off with a temperature fluctuation because I'm in a colder area, and if the temperature fluctuates within a couple of degrees, that REM pod's going to go off quite a bit. So it really just depends on the scenario of the lockdown area, I guess.
So, is there a location that you like refuse to ever go to?
Not because I'm intimidated by the location. There's quite a few that I won't go to because I just feel like they absolutely aren't haunted. Yes, but not because that, anything terrifying about the location. The more scary or the more, paranormal activity claims that are there, the more it makes me want to go there. I want to go to Alcatraz. That would be one of my number one locations to go to is Alcatraz. Take me over to the island.
I actually want to get locked down there by myself. I actually do another show called Haunted and Alone, and I want them to lock me in there.
That would be awesome. That would be cool. If you ever get to go, let me know. I'd like to join. Okay. I've been out there a few years ago on a tour of the island and the prison, and the tour guide was like, "Hey, does anybody want to spend time in the hole?" And I was like, "Yeah, me, please." So they shut one. They shut one door, and it's like the actual jail cell door. Then they slam another door on top of that, and that's one of the most darkest, creepiest, weirdest place you'll ever spend. I was in there for 10 minutes. He left me in there, but that was one of the more creepiest areas I've ever been locked up in Alcatraz and that hole down there. It was nuts. But
that's cool.
I'd love to go back and investigate that place sometime.
I go with you, Jax. I mean, if we do this though, I gotta get in touch with Chrissy and get some of them things that make sure you chained up just perfectly in that place.
Who, him or me?
You.
Yeah, I was thinking about Tim talking about taking a beer or giving them a cigarette or something like that in the cemeteries, and I was thinking, well, that's something I'm sure them people in Alcatraz would really like if you brought Jackie up there and locked her in a cell. So,
all right,
I am down. I will.
They'd be blowing all over your neck.
That's a trigger object right there.
Yep.
Set it up.
There you
go. I'm going. Lock me up.
that and a pack of Cools.
Listen, I don't even need a toilet. Cool. I just get a corner. If you don't know Tim, this is kind of a long joke with us.
No, hey, But Alcatraz would definitely be interesting. And if I could go anywhere else to investigate, it would probably be Egypt, the pyramids. There's so much history out there, and so many different. I'd love to make it out there one day. But as far as stateside,
wonder if you can actually stream from there. Is there internet? Can you get Can you
probably not
live out there?
I mean, I'm sure in certain areas of Egypt, but probably not out there by the pyramids. I doubt it.
Yeah.
I know I won't never be able to go to Egypt. I mean, to see something like that, but the next best thing that's probably the closest would probably be like the Aztecs. What about that?
We did actually investigate in Belize at the Mayan ruins up there back in 2019 when we were in New Orleans. We had took a cruise through Belize and Cancun or whatever's down there. I don't know. We went to 5 different places, but we were in Belize and we did go investigate somewhat the Mayan ruins. I mean, it was during the daytime, but we did some EVP recordings and stuff like that. Really didn't capture too much because it was a real windy day, so there's a lot of noise contamination with the wind blowing through that area. But nonetheless, we tried to anyways. It was just a pretty impacting just being there at a location like that. Something that's hundreds and hundreds of years old, and that was cool, just all in itself. But
we just
I try to investigate whenever I can, or when I go to different places, even if I'm just out on vacation, I'll find a cemetery or find something historical there in that area to go check out and dabble around a little bit. But
I don't know if he's still in town or not, but we had Jack Osborne in town down here, and
I remember you talking about that.
He's going to the same place. I mean, he's been there before, so I mean, he's the only investigator out of anybody. I mean, just allowed to go in this place is the LaLaurie Mansion, and it's gotten to. And I'm getting close to getting in that place, but it's like he just got out of there, and he just did the LaLaurie Mansion.
LaLaurie?
Uh-huh.
Look that shit up, Jay.
Okay, so where is that in New Orleans? Is that New Orleans?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm calling him and see if we can get in.
You're not going to get in.
I'm gonna try.
You can try all you want. You just think they won't let nobody in there.
Like I said, I'll be down there in August, and I can't remember the locations. But my buddy's got 2 things booked down there. I think, I don't know, someplace, Madam something or another. I don't know. He's got 2 locations booked down there in August that I'm supposed to be going to him with in that area. And then he said something about wanting to go over to the Myrtle's plantation, but I told him about I told him about your investigation, because I've been there on a tour, but I never investigated. But I remember you guys going down there a couple of years ago, and all the stuff that was going on. People out there partying all night long.
A lot of contamination. I mean,
so
only time we got anything is like when you go off behind the slave cabins and stuff like that. And I mean, I actually seen it silhouettes, or you want to say it's not a shadow person, because you can actually see the hats, and you can see the long. It looked like a stick they were holding, but that's the rifle, the muskets they were carrying for the Civil War soldiers. And one went one way and one went the other way, and my Jackie went the opposite way and left me in the fucking woods by myself. So, but I had that out.
But if we probably
get in you probably did something to make her leave you out there. So
no, she saw it. She was standing next to me, and I said, and I turned to look at it. Did you see that shit? No, I was going to say that, and she was already gone. I mean, I was like, I was out in the woods by myself. I mean, it's like, damn, she left me there. But I've been touched in there, in the doll room, the port that where the little girls played in. There's nothing but porcelain dolls in there, and I hate a doll. I cannot stand a doll. And then if you sleep in that room, there's one in there that's got no eyes. And if you touch the one with no eyes, it said if you sleep in that room and you touch the doll with no eyes, the next morning you wake up, the doll's in bed with you.
Ugh, that would not be okay.
So I said, okay.
Fucked up there.
Yeah, so I touched the doll and I went into the closet. Gabe's like, he's Spanish speaking. He's got a Spanish accent. And he says, get into the closet. And I said, what? Get into the closet. So I'm in the closet. The room's dark. The closet's dark. I can't see shit. And I'm supposed to try to get these something to move the ball or play with some toys. And the whole entire time I'm sitting in there, and they got a night vision camera on me. And I could, like I said, can't see nothing. The only thing I felt at one point was these fingers touched me on my arm. And I was like, oh, I said, did y'all catch that? Did you catch that? And I even said it where you can hear it on the camera. And at that point, you can see all these orbs around me, and you see this huge orb, and it just touches me on the arm at the same time I said that. I mean, the exact same time. It was like, it touched me, and I said, did y'all catch that? Did you catch that? And I said, I felt fingers. And that's when I felt this 3 little fingers touch my arm like that. So, I mean, you had a lot of experiences like that, but you didn't actually. With them walking through there every hour, ringing this freaking school bell, this old time school bell, ding, ding, and they were doing their walking tour through through inside the mansion and around the grounds. You couldn't do anything. And they did that till about 10, 11 o'clock at night. And then they got a restaurant in the courtyard where there was nothing there before. Then they got these buildings that they built instead of the slave cabins, because you could stay in the slave cabins. They're really nice. They really redone them all, and they got it's almost like little mini apartment buildings. It's like little places where people can go when they're staying overnight. They can stay at the bed and breakfast.
Yeah, that was there when I went down there. It wasn't completed completely, but it was just about done when I was down there. I remember seeing that right there off the main house.
And then you're supposed to have seen the general in the swamp. I mean, it's like you got that big pond in the back, and you got the little place where it's like a little gazebo type thing. Yeah. And you're supposed to see the general on. You can't see nothing because there's people walking constantly around the place.
Yeah. Right. I was thinking about that whenever you were talking about it. It'd be hard to even get anything with so many people everywhere all the time. So
it would be, man. You'd have to rent the whole place out to yourself, and to get anything really done as far as investigating, And it's
we rented out the whole house. We rented out the whole mansion. But just because you did that, that's fine. You can rent out all the slave cabins. That's fine. You can rent out the apartment. They still have a restaurant in the middle of the damn thing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you can't win or lose.
Had to go when everything was locked down. Try to sneak in.
Yeah.
That would have been a good time.
Yeah.
They probably would have taken your money then.
They're still making money.
So, Chad, you said you're into the field, but you don't investigate, or you haven't investigated yet?
I was kind of into the field somewhat, and then I started talking to Howard more and Jax and everybody else, and they just kind of started bringing me in more and learning more.
We adopted him.
Yeah, and I grew up behind a cemetery, so I remember hearing and seeing all kinds of weird things there, and it was an old cemetery, so.
Well, brother, you should definitely get out there and do some traveling and checking some places out, man. There's a lot of wonderful locations out there to investigate.
Yeah, I'm going to try to. I've got two kids now, so they kind of keep me tied up as far as money goes. And
I understand that, brother.
I'll come to Florida. We'll go look there. We'll go ghost hunting and squatching.
There you go.
Hey, I've got a forest right by my house, too. So actually, there's a place right there that you could probably find something at. There's an old Civil War battlefield inside the forest that's across the street from two prisons. So
perfect.
They're active prisons, but
hey, Courtney, stop in and say hello. But yeah, what part of Florida are you in, brother?
I'm outside of Jacksonville. I'm outside of Jacksonville, up northeast.
Okay.
Up by Georgia.
We got to meet in a central location. I mean, if you want to do something like that, Chad, you got me that lives in Louisiana, and then you got Terry that lives in Alabama, and then you live in Florida. You can meet like in the middle, meet like in, I don't know. We can meet in Michigan.
Really, though, what part of the paranormal interests you the most, though? Is it like going ghost hunting, looking for Bigfoot, aliens? I mean, like, what interests you the most?
I would say aliens or ghost hunting, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. So,
yeah.
How about you, T-Dog?
Brother, I just love the travel, man. I love the history of these locations, the architectural of the buildings. It's just all exciting for me, brother. I'm not just about the thrill of the hunt. I love the history and just being on the road, making memories with my teammates, having the different experiences, being able to document, certain things. It's just all fascinating for me, brother. There's not one thing I like more than the other, really. I love it all just as equally. It's just the whole experience of doing what we do. It's exciting.
Yeah.
It's always something else to check out. I made a post the other day. It's like a hunger. Once you get into it, you're always trying to feed that hunger and looking for more or wanting that next, adventure. I don't know. It's just something like nothing else I've ever experienced.
Just wait till he goes, and he'll just be like addicted, like the rest of us.
Probably.
Yes.
You will be.
You will be.
Experience, the first real paranormal experience will blow your mind, and then you're addicted because you want more.
Well, I didn't ever have anything to cover it, but like I said, growing up behind that cemetery, that's where we hung out. That was our hangout spot. was at the cemetery. So we were like the
Right.
ones that watched over the cemetery to make sure nobody crazy was coming in there. People were tearing up anything, or
Of
you know,
course. Okay.
we'd go and keep everything clean in it. And
Aw, that's so sweet.
well,
we are talking about doing a Paracon here in New Orleans.
Oh
I
yeah.
was talking to Steven, and yeah, we're talking to Steven, and it would be like Paralinx and Prometheus doing a big old Paracon here, and just have people show up, booths and all that stuff like that. Try to get some guest speakers to come in here,
Yeah,
do
it'd
some
be awesome.
talking,
Man.
Because I got
Yeah, if you
invited
put
to go
something
to.
together,
Go ahead.
go ahead, Howard. Go ahead. No,
I
I was going to say that'd be exciting. If you get one put together, let me know. I'd love to come down there and hang out
Oh
with
yeah,
you, join
man.
everybody.
Yeah,
I just did one in Las Vegas a few months ago, and we had a blast.
Yeah.
Well, I
Okay.
just
The
got
one.
invited.
I've heard about your blast there, Jackie.
She blasted everywhere. I mean, she blasted
Yeah.
in every corner. She blasted. And, yeah.
Listen, I'm a
She
good
was
time.
like
That's all.
tripping over, falling over tables, and
Hey, now
Uh-oh.
listen. I have an excuse for that. I got pushed. Literally, someone grabbed me and pulled me down to the ground. So that wasn't even my fault.
Oh well.
That was
Did you
only
get
one
knocked out?
green pin.
that was
Did you get knocked out?
security. That was
Yeah.
security.
When you have your pants around your ankles and you're trying to squat in the corner, they're gonna try to attack you, attack you for that kind of shit.
Yeah. That was Las Vegas
Listen,
PD.
the bathroom should be closer. That's all I have to say.
Oh my
Should
goodness.
make it more convenient for me.
Now, while you
Yeah, but
were out there in Vegas, did you go by Zach's Museum out there by chance?
No, I didn't go that trip, but I've been there before. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
How
'Cause I
was
used to
that?
spend a
How
lot of
was
time
that?
there.
How was that with all the haunted artifacts? Was it like, did you get any crazy vibes or anything like that being
The
there?
whole place to me has got a crazy vibe. The whole place. I mean, it doesn't matter where you go. Every room's got a weird vibe.
Right.
Every
Yeah, 'cause I know,
single area. It's weird.
right,
Maybe
one of
that's
the
just Zach.
Well, Zach-
houses out here in Gary, Indiana, the Demon House. Zach bought it a few years back and
Oh,
tore
yeah,
it
yeah.
down, and he has some of the remnants from that house there at the museum. So I was wondering what the place
He
was
bought a
like.
house out here recently, about maybe a couple years ago, a couple hours north of me, and I heard they were tearing that down too.
Yeah. Well, this Demon House was said to have over
money on it. He'd probably make more money on selling the little pieces of that house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You
well,
would think if he was going to buy the house, he would like make it a place for people to go and investigate. Like, why not make money off of it? Like, if Zach owns it, people are going to go.
Yeah, this one in Gary, he did a documentary there. I think it was called The Demon House or something like that.
It was.
But I mean, it was pretty crazy. It was said to have over 200 different demons in that house. The last family that lived there, I mean, there was just crazy stuff going on with the three children. The oldest daughter would be seen levitating over her bed. The one of the younger sons was at a doctor's appointment or something to do with a doctor, and during the visit, the doctor witnessed this kid gliding backwards up a wall, apparently. And this was witnessed by a doctor, a professional doctor.
I would sell tickets to that place. I would at like an amusement park, You want to climb up the wall backwards? Here you go.
But the funny thing is, we were out there last year, I think it was, or the year before, and we went to the property where the house used to stand, and obviously it's down now, but you can see where people are still out there trying to do rituals. There was black candles and things of that nature out there. But I decided to go knock on the next door neighbor's house, and there was an older gentleman that lived there, and I was asking him about the house next door. I was like, well, how long have you lived here? And he's like, well, I've been here, 30 years or so. And it's like, well, I've heard stories about the house next door. Did you ever have any experiences with it or see anything crazy? And he's like, well, I never really seen anything crazy. He said that the family that lived there seemed really unusual and seemed to be a little out of the ordinary, but he really never experienced anything from the property being next door. But he did say in the middle of the night, you can hear people over there chanting and doing different things on the property still. So there's still people out going out there and try to do rituals and,
well, if it's evil, if it's that type of evil, it's not going to be contained by a chain link fence. I'm sorry to say that. It can drift in and out of houses and stuff like that. So that's why I got my reservations about him being a demon house. It's bad enough. I mean, I could tell you about my good friend Carl Johnson. Okay, he's my mentor. He's got me. If I need anything, I pretty much can call him and talk to him about it. He's been doing this for 40 plus years, and he can probably count on one hand how many actual demon things, possessions or anything that's demonic out there. So I mean, it's hard to find something like that. Usually it's just evil spirits. That's all it is.
Exactly. Of course. But people relate evil with demons. That's the sad thing about it. It could just be some asshole spirit that was an asshole in real life, and now he's an asshole in the afterlife.
I was just going to say that, Tim. I actually do believe the same thing. Like, I believe you take your energy of who you are in this life and you carry it over into the next life. So if you're a jerkhole in this life, you're a jerkhole in the next life.
Absolutely.
You are. You're going to carry that because we are made of energy. If you are filled with negative energy, you're going to carry that energy over.
Yep, I try to explain that to clients all the time. What do you think happened to Charles Manson when he died? He didn't become this holy, wonderful person. He's still a fucking asshole, y'all. He's still.
Listen, I just investigated the Omen House on Saturday, right where the murders took place, and I'm telling you, that's a crazy place. That's probably one of the most haunted locations. I don't know if in all of the U.S. or California, I don't know what it's considered, but that place is really active. I've been there multiple times. I've slept over there multiple times.
I'd go to David's house too, just to eat the ribs.
Oh God, she just went for the ribs, you guys! Oh my God,
That's all I wouldn't worry about.
Ribs I've ever had in my life, and I lived in the South. So I'm telling you, these things are crazy.
I wouldn't worry about the ghost of Sharon Tate or Abigail Folger or any of them. I'd just be there for the ribs.
I know. That would be it. When we started the investigation, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I have ribs in my teeth. So if I do don't mind me. Because I was gnawing down on those things. They are good. Delicious.
Yeah. But they do have. It took you 15 minutes to get the lights turned off. So.
Oh my God! There's light switches everywhere. You can't figure out where the hell the light switches are to what lights. Like this one's around the corner and this one over here is around that corner. It's like nothing makes sense.
There was 3 lights in one room. There was 3 lights in one room, and they couldn't figure out which lights to. They'd turn off one, and half of them, part of them would go off.
Oh my God!
All right.
No.
What's the name of that show, guys? That said that's naked and afraid, naked, haunted, afraid. What is it?
Haunted and alone, naked and afraid.
Haunted, naked, and afraid.
Haunted, naked, and afraid.
I mean, technically, I've done that show too, but haunted and alone. But the guys wouldn't leave me alone. I don't know. I'm sure Chad saw it, so they would not leave me alone. Save their lives. Yeah, loving being in there.
I do want to put this out there. A couple of little side notes before we, because it's coming up to that time, and I want to get these out right quick. Save Waverly Hills. You go to www.savewaverlyhills.com. For $25, you make a $25 donation, and they give you a free T-shirt. Really, and it's a cool T-shirt. I got me a couple, so they are really sweet T-shirts. And then this April they have a Paracon. It's held by Miss Phoenix Jansen. That's going to be in Texas. It's actually an old military installation that it's supposed to be really haunted. Guest speakers are going to be George and Kara Shoplin and Stephen and Crystal Woodard. They asked me to come up there and guest speak. I'm trying to see what I can do, people. So I might be there. Then again, I might not be there. I don't know. So if y'all want to come to that, it's going to be awesome. It's really a great event. And then and like I said, that's in April. And then let's see. What else I had? Save Waverly. I know they wanted me to push that,
Did you say
and
that's actually at Waverly?
they save in Waverly.
Where's the event?
The event, this event it's a Paracon that's held by Miss Phoenix Jansen. If anybody's familiar with Miss Phoenix, she's got psychic abilities. She's a wonderful person. I can't speak high enough about this lady. She's if you ever get the chance to meet her, please do and just talk to her, for a few minutes. So
it's in Mineral Wells, ain't it?
Mineral Wells, Texas. Yes, it's in Mineral Wells, Texas, just outside of Fort Worth. So,
and what are the dates for the people who are interested?
I have no idea. I had them wrote down somewhere, and I can't find.
I believe it's April 23rd. It's a Saturday.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Okay.
Yeah, because they were asking me to come down, but I'll be up in Michigan filming. So yeah, I know it's the 23rd of April.
I think it's $50 to buy them in advance and $60 at the gate. So,
yeah, you get a dinner, you get to be at the round table and investigation. So it's not a bad deal. It's a pretty good deal.
That's a pretty good deal.
Texas Scaregrounds is the link or the webpage for it.
Okay.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, you get to hang out with some awesome people too. There's gonna be some awesome people there. So
yeah.
Big names in the community. Big names in the paranormal community. That's for sure.
Yeah. Good luck with that event, you guys.
So,
hope that goes well.
And of course, you get May 22nd is also the Howard wedding, and that's going to be televised. That's
going to be a big paranormal event for us.
Well, it's dwindled down some, so we cut back some of the things here and there, but it's still going to be a big event. We're going to have the Louisiana Ghostbusters is going to be there too, so they're going to have Ecto 1 pulled out front. Yeah, we're going to have some of the Ghostbusters walking through there and everything. So yeah, it's going to be pretty good.
It sounds like it, brother. Congratulations again on getting married, brother. That sounds like it's going to be
finally.
All right. It sounds like it's going to be a hell of a party or after party anyway.
Yeah, after party. That's what we're. But we're going to be doing investigations with people that are invited and they're coming down. We're going to be, like I said, they're staggering them out. So the week before, they're going to have people coming in and staying to after the wedding, and they're going to have some people coming to the weekend before the wedding and staying the week after. So we're gonna have people all for 2 weeks here. So it's gonna be like it's like a mini Paracon that'll be going down here just for a wedding.
That's awesome, brother.
Crazy.
Sounds awesome.
I might be in jail from day one, so I might not miss it. I might miss everything, so I don't know.
Well, I get there on the 20th, so count that day for sure.
Yeah, we got Jason Walker and Rosie coming in, and Jennifer Lee, Jenny from Ireland. She's still looking for a sugar daddy. Whoever's out there, she's willing.
True story.
4 days only. 4 days only.
Well, she did say she's willing to do whatever it takes, people.
Yes. All right.
Yes. I think we almost had him set up with David Merlin last night.
Yeah.
David.
Oh yeah, David's a good guy. David's a good guy.
David
I talked
coming?
to him on a couple of occasions.
I invited him. He said he's going to see about it and try to get.
That'd be awesome. I'm good friends with David.
Yeah,
David's a great guy. I would love for you to come, David. If you're watching, come, please.
All right.
Jax, he mentioned you in the MGM too.
What about?
Yeah, the wedding will be televised. Yeah, the wedding.
He said he couldn't say it on a daytime broadcast.
Krista from
Chicago. I can't hide from anybody.
He didn't really say that. He was talking about the event. So.
We had so much fun there. It was such a fun time. Like, honestly, I wish you guys all could have been there. We had the best time.
I got Terry. Terry's going to be there with Jess. Then they'll be here at the wedding too. So yeah, it's going to be a Chad. You need to drag your sorry ass up here. I mean, over here, come to this thing.
We're not coming, Chad.
I'm trying to, but I can't say nothing in front of my wife.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit. That's one of those relationships.
Yeah, but if I wasn't doing that that event with Ernie and them, the car show there at Waverly Hills that day, I'd probably try to come down here, but yeah, I've already got to go. Been committed to go down there to the car show for that.
No, that's for a good cause. To me, that's a good cause. That's something. But if you want, like somebody was asking, I think it was Linda. The wedding will be also televised. It's going to be on Facebook, so we'll be doing a Facebook Live. It's going to be over how long? 4.5 hour event. So
that's what's up.
Yeah.
Let me know what the time frame is, and I'll help share it out for you and get it out there for you for sure.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's going to be 4.5 hours from me seeing me going from sober to getting arrested and then finally incarcerated.
The whole marathon of Howard.
And then Howard's going to have somebody blowing on the back of his neck in a jail cell.
It's possible. It's possible.
You wish.
Really freak him out.
Linda was just asking if you're going to do part of your wedding online, Howard.
Right. That's what I just said. That's going to be on Facebook Live.
Okay. And then she also asked something about the Omen House. Oh, no. No, the EMF is not off the wall there. No. Actually, we hardly ever get, unless something's really there, we don't get anything going off like that. His house is built. It's an amazing house.
Yeah, I've done a virtual tour of it. It is beautiful.
I actually did a whole tour the other day. I walked around and showed everybody the outside, the back patio, walked down the street, every part of the house. So anyone who hasn't seen it, if you want to watch it, I did a whole tour on there.
Yeah, they're only just 30 seconds at a time, though.
What?
I said they're like 30 seconds at a time because you were walking, say you'd go live.
Yeah.
And then you'd walk around for like 15 steps and then it'd shut off again.
Oh, it did?
Whenever you were doing it live, it did. I don't know if it's still like that or not, but.
Oh, hopefully it fixed. Okay. Well, I did one whole live where I walked around like literally the upstairs. There's 3 stories. So hopefully there's at least one where everybody can see the house because it's an amazing house. It's really cool.
And where's this at?
This is up in like the Hollywood Hills. You know where like we were just talking about the Manson murders?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So he actually
I drove Jackie in here.
Oh, hi. He actually has these pictures, blown up pictures, literally of the day that the murders took place. And the police are all there and the bodies are on the ground and they're covered up. I mean, it's just mind blowing to see that. And then when you're standing there in the house on the property, like where it happened, it just feels so real. Like, I mean, in your mind, you're thinking like, whoa, like that happened. And, you think about it, but then when you have a visual of it and you like literally see the bodies and they're covered up and the police are standing, I mean, it's intense.
I bet. That sounds like the same feeling when I was up in Iowa not that long ago. We went by the Axe Murder House, the Villisca Axe Murder House, and just being there at that property, and it's a small house.
Oh,
and
wow.
You can still see some of the axe marks in the wall.
Oh, wow.
In the upstairs bedroom where the kids slept at. So, and there was 8 people axed up in that house. I think there was 2 adults and 6 children. And just being in that location was just mesmerizing. It was just like,
you want to hear a whacked out location like that? Huh? You want to hear a whacked out location like that? Look up in New Orleans. You want to look up the Sultan's Palace.
Sultan?
The Sultan, like a Sultan of, Calabani, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Right.
It's called Sultan's Palace. And that's everybody. I mean, they pulled people off the streets and killed them with machetes and axes and shit.
Oh, wow.
The streets turned red with blood, they said that day. So
dang.
That's fucking crazy.
So I actually heard, I was actually living down there when I heard this, but I actually heard that I'm going to draw a blank what his name is. The actor who bought the house.
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage. Okay. So I heard he bought a house and found out that there were actual bones under the house, in the floors where there was just hundreds of bodies of bones under the floor. Is that true?
That's the LaLaurie mansion.
That's the mansion?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That place. I saw this whole documentary thing about it. I was like, oh my God, I guess he didn't live there.
I
He's like,
sent
"No."
you a link, Jackie, about the
Oh,
Leroy Mansion.
I can check it out. I'm gonna call them.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you let me know if you get in there. I'd like to see that.
I'm gonna try.
Howard, you know
But-
it's 10:03.
Oh yeah, I don't care.
Like, I
We
gotta
start
go to bed.
late, we end late. We whatever.
Just ban the clock.
Tim, you wanna add about any events or anything? You know, we talked about them at the beginning. You might want to reiterate and tell people where.
Well, I mean, most people will be able to see the events coming up. There's some things that we got coming up that I can't talk about, and then there's obviously going to be lots of locations this year. So, I mean, I can just tell everybody to follow the page or follow my personal page. Stay tuned because we do got some exciting stuff coming up. The 10th of April, we will be in Mineral Springs Hotel in Alton, Illinois. We're doing some kind of live investigation challenge thing with Brian Rochelle. So that'll be pretty exciting. Yeah, yes, that's what it's called. So stay tuned for that. That'll be pretty exciting. It'll be all over social media and probably TikTok and Twitter and all that stuff. But
That's cool.
it's gonna be an exciting year. So just stay tuned. You know, I'm always posting videos, or I try to pronounce or put out there the locations that we're going to. I try to stay on top of that. But other than that, just stay tuned, guys. Howard, I'm honored to finally be on your show, brother. Thanks for having me. It's nice to meet everyone.
Finally see you face to face and actually have you on the show and finally getting to talk to you more and see your paranormal brother, man. And anytime you're down, let me know. Hook you up.
Oh yeah.
Do some things down here. Bring it to the places where the locals go, not where the tourists go.
Right. Let me know you want to
that'd be
go
nice.
and I'll take you.
For sure. Yeah. You know what? I haven't made out to California to really investigate yet, so I'd be looking forward to coming out there and checking out some
Actually,
locations
that's probably one of the best places I've ever found evidence for Bigfoot is Northern California.
Squatting. I thought you said squatting. My loss. I was lost there for a minute.
She meant both.
This is never going to end.
I was invited to come out there.
T-shirts. I pee everywhere.
I was invited to come out there a couple of years ago, Jackie, to investigate or go check out the compound, Charles Manson's compound or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Have you ever been there or checked that out? Yeah, I was invited to come out there at one point. Yeah.
That'll be a good one. That'll be a real good investigation.
Yeah. Just let me know whenever you're ready to come out and bring whoever you want. You can all stay here.
Yeah. I got to make it out to California.
Go look. Well, I live near San Diego, so we'll probably have to go north.
Right.
Actually, Bigfoot down here in Tijuana.
Well, you might find some aliens down there.
Right.
Well, we have aliens here in San Diego.
Well, that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying.
Lots of illegal aliens here. But they're everywhere.
So
very normal.
It's an open invitation. Anybody who wants to go to Jax's house and, just crash.
That's right. That's right.
Just knock on the door and just
welcome.
walk on in and help yourself to the fridge and,
She just might put you in chains, though.
Yeah. Right.
Well, I mean, it might happen.
You used to that. I like that, Tim. Tim says used to that.
That's just a Tuesday for me and Tim.
Right. Exactly. I know if you guys ever come up my way towards Indiana, man, hit me up, Howard, or anything that you got going on.
I'd love to come to Indiana, but that situation going on that way. So, I mean, it's like the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, as long as you hang out with
the gas prices get better as I go.
Right, exactly. But no, if you come to Indiana and hang out with the right people, Howard, you'll have a good time, brother. We got some fascinating locations out here, for sure, brother.
All right, brother. I appreciate
it's all about the company. All about the company you keep.
True story.
And it says right there, hope you have a hood for Tim too.
Yeah. They normally do, Krista. They normally do. If it's not a hood, it's something else crazy. So
all right, guys. Well, thank everybody for coming on tonight. Thank you, Mr. Kummer, for coming on, and he'll be on next week on Paranormal Swamp Talk with us, and that's when you have Rosie and Jess.
Okay.
And they're more laid back than I am. I mean, tonight was kind of a laid back show. I think we wanted, I guess, take it kind of slow and do a proper show for you. Tomorrow night it'll be off the wall. Tomorrow night we usually pick a topic we're talking about. And at first I thought about for the Unholy Trinity what would be a really good topic, and the topic I came up with was pets. Pets that crossed over the Rainbow Bridge, and of course I had to put an Unholy Trinity twist to it and say, why did they come back and still want to hump your leg? So.
Oh, that's a funny one.
So we always have some kind of twist, but we'll probably stay on topic for about 5 minutes and then it'll be somewhere else. But
Well,
besides
guys,
that,
it was nice meeting.
thank you for coming on.
It was nice meeting you, Tim.
Yeah, it's nice
It was
meeting
very
and chatting
nice
with
to
you
meet you,
guys.
Tim.
Hey, thank you, Terry. Hopefully we'll talk again soon. And Howard, yeah, I'll definitely be on there. What is it, the 7th? Next Thursday or something like that?
It's next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. All right, bro.
The 6th. The 6th.
Okay.
So we'll see you
6th.
then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
all
sir.
right. Sounds good. Sounds good.
With that being said, I hope everybody has a good night, and we'll see y'all next week.
Good night.